6 years ago, this is my life. As a consultant, entrepreneur, and mother of 3 young children under the age of 7, I remember lying on the bed at 5 a.m. in the morning, thinking about, okay, today I have the email to Joelle, there is a marketing plan, there's a sales proposal, there's all these meetings and a workshop in China next week. When I've got all my 100 things that I've listed out that I need to do for the day, I jump out of bed and scribble it onto my to-do list that becomes my Bible for the day. I organize my life in blocks of 15 minutes and I zip around town. And then it's Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. What do? Do I have a nice long massage? Do I look up some friends or read a book in a quiet cafe? No! I have another list. There's a phonics practice with Finn. Pete's exams are coming out. There's swimming music, Chinese lessons, and I head out to the gym, clock some miles, burn some calories, measure muscle mass. My weekend list is longer than my weekday list. I have lists and lists and lists, and all the master lists to keep all my lists together. I am efficient. I am in control. And then I wonder, why do I feel so tired? I'm just doing my life. I feel like my attention, my mind, my energy is all fragmenting into pieces. And one day, 19 December, I felt sick. I had been vomiting and having diarrhea for 5 days. And my father decides to send me to the hospital at 3 a.m. So I was very quickly promoted from a normal ward to a high dependency ward, and then to the intensive care unit. And so in the ICU, Dr. Linda, she's this prim and proper lady without a single strand of hair out of place. And there I was in that ugly blue hospital gown, all strapped up with the wires to the beeping machines. And my hair probably looked like Einstein's. And as I sat there, Dr. Linda said to me, Wendy, you look better than you really are. If you come in 3 days later, you'll probably be dead. Then I thought, wait, dead? Wait a minute. I have a workshop in China next week. My inbox is probably bursting. My book is not done. My work is not done. I'm not done. And then I slumped back. And I realized that if I were to go, then I can't see Pete cheer for him in the swimming competition. I can't see Finn, this piggy pout, or Sophie, the tomboy in pretty dresses. So in that moment, that sense of unfinished business just exploded within me. And what did I do? I created another list. This time, check with the doctor, my out of office, and my will. And I realized that this fragmentation that I experience, this stress that I experience, is probably not just me alone. 52% of Singapore workers say that the stress level has increased in the last 6 months. Change is faster, workload has doubled, competition is stiffer, and yet job security is probably at its lowest. So just running harder and faster on the treadmill of life, of work, is not going to work. So as I was recovering, having faced death in the eye, I learned to live. And I asked, what is the alternative? What is the alternative to just running harder and faster. And it occurred to me that perhaps the opposite of being pulled in different directions, being fragmented, is to be whole, to be complete. So I was very curious. I went to find out about what is wholeness. I interviewed many leaders and professionals, what wholeness means to them. And I also looked into the East and West perspectives on wholeness. For me, Western medicine saved my life, but it was Eastern medicine that gave me a new life. So what is wholeness? I defined wholeness as a sense of balance and completeness within ourselves and the community around us. A whole person has an integral sense of who he is and who he is in relation to the community. And a whole person embraces polarities, opposites in their thinking. A whole person is also clear, focused, and present. Right? You see that the word wholeness there has a small w because wholeness is a process. It's not a state. You get there, you stay there. But in our disruptive world today, it's a moment that we go in and out of. Right, so over to you. Now, you've been all sitting, listening, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I want you to eyeball a partner, somebody on your right or on your left. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and I want you to give them a high 10. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, so you have your partner. So here's what I want you to do. This is a word cloud. Right? In this word cloud, there are all these words that I researched that represents wholeness. I want you to find a word that represents wholeness to you. Tell that to your partner. About 30 seconds. Okay, now let's come back again. In my work with leaders, some of them talk about fulfillment. Anybody had fulfillment? Great. Wisdom? Yeah, some. Anybody had balance? Yes, great, thank you. Right, what about joy? Yes. Community? Yeah, it's really interesting what wholeness means. And I find that most male and female leaders have different words that represent wholeness to them. So in my book, there are exercises like these. So it's available for sale. You're totally welcome to get a copy, and I'll be very happy to sign it for you. And with all of this research, I distilled wholeness, the pathway towards wholeness, as these A, B, and C's. A is about anchoring. Just like a tree growing deep and broad roots, right? Our anchor is what keeps us steady despite the disruptive change around us. And B is about balancing our thinking, balancing so that we can find more expensive options. And C is about clearing our mind, clearing the negative thoughts, clearing our judgment, the mental clutter, so that we can just be here in the moment. In our workshops and programs, in the book as well, we go through more of this ABC in depth. But in the time that I have today, I want to share with you about balancing. Right, so balancing. So here are all the aspects that we want to balance. We want to balance our family and our career. Yes? Yes, right. And we also want to get the work done and build the relationship. We want our companies to be profitable and also take care of people. And oftentimes when we think about balance, we think of it as a scale, right? When one goes up, the other has to come down. If I want to focus on my family, then my career has to take a back seat. Yeah, or we think of balance as a compromise, have a little bit of both. Who wants a little bit of family and a little bit of career? Really? Who wants all of family and all of career? All right, so many more hands go up. Yes, so can I invite you to put your hands to your chest? Right, put your hands to your chest and push against your hands with equal force, 50-50 force. What do you notice? Stuck. Thank you, stuck. What else? Hey? Yeah. Yeah, you don't move, right? You don't move, you feel stuck. And you probably feel like there's a bit tired after a while. Right? So that's the position of compromise. A bit, 50-50 gets us stuck. We're nowhere. I want to share with you a different way of looking at balance. Right? So now this time, allow your hand to move over to the other side and just move across. And how does this feel now? Fun. There's a flow. Right? There's energy. And how do you feel? Do you feel ease? Yeah? So you probably feel there's this energy, there's a flow, and you feel that you don't expend so much energy. So the idea, how does this idea relate, right, to our real life issues? So coming to this very common issue of work and career. So now I am totally 100% focused on my career. I'm all with you here. Right? In several hours' time, I will be totally with my family, focusing on them. When I have to fly off for work, I would write little notes to my children, and then I'll tell them to open it when mommy is gone. Right? And then that's my way of being with them. And when I'm up on the plane, I will whip out my laptop and I'll work furiously again. So at any one time, it's 100% family or 100% career. So that's balancing is 100 over time. And we find that it creates something that's bigger, that's more expensive when you bring opposites together. As a psychologist, I love to do experiments. Can I invite you to do one experiment? Okay, can you all just sit comfortably? I want you to take a deep breath. As you take your breath, bring your oxygen to every cell of your body and exhale. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. How does it feel after taking a few breaths? Good? Feel good? Yeah, feel more relaxed, more calm, more energized. Right? I learned this from Tai Chi because as I was recovering from my illness, I couldn't go pounding in the gym. So I turned to Tai Chi instead. And I realized that the continuous breathing in and breathing out gives us something very important, very life essential, life sustaining, life expanding. Right? It gives us energy, it gives us chi, right? It gives us life. So again, the bringing together of opposites gives us something that is bigger and more expensive. So after a keynote that I did, a leader asked me, how does this relate to our work in corporations? So I showed him this picture. I asked him, which part of the loop are you more at? And he realizes straight away. He is somebody who likes to take charge. Very, chart the direction, make things happen, get everybody to do the work. And I asked him, how is it coming along? He says, my people do the work, but they're not really engaged. They are, the team spirit's not that high. Nobody really is proactive. Right? And looking at the picture, what do you think you need to do? Right? So the opposite of taking charge is to take care. Taking care of our people, supporting them, nurturing them. So bringing it together, taking care and taking charge is a whole leader. So women, on the other hand, we tend to take care more than take charge. So if we were to take charge of our life, take charge of our team, take charge of our organization, take charge of our community. In addition, we also take care of ourselves, take care of our team, take care of our community. And then we find that our loop gets bigger and bigger, and we can be a whole leader for the entire community, not just in our little sphere. That's the wholeness of yourself expanding. And what does this idea mean in our everyday busy work? Right? This picture is like 8:45 at Raffles Place MRT. The door opens. right? And then a swarm of bees shoots out, right? And it's all very busy doing. And as a parent, I like to do many things with my kids. And music practice with Sophie is always a challenge because it's every day. So I tell Sophie, hurry up, Sophie, get it done now. Mommy needs to go. You have 30 minutes. You just know how it's going to turn out. Because at that point, my mind is like this bin, full of distractions, WhatsApp messages coming in, gadgets, emotions. I'm judging her. Why are you taking so long? Why are you so lazy, right? My mind is like this rubbish bin. And of course, that's not helpful. So I remind myself that music practice with Sophie is not a doing activity. Right? Instead, music practice with Sophie is just being with her. So I put my phone down. I sit down beside her. I try playing the piece. Of course, I don't play so well. I'm rusty. And she shows me how much better she can play. And so both of us, we just sit there, enjoying the music, being together, just enjoying together. Do you like the music? Yeah? The perfectionist in me hears 2 places where it's imperfect, but it's okay. We'll let it go. In that moment, right, the question is, in the being, how are you being with your team? How are you being with your family? That's a question. Because when we are aware of our being, our state, then our mind is more empty of judgments, empty of negative emotions, right? Empty of all of these mental clutter. And this is especially important in today's world because in this disruptive change, we want to get clear about what is happening around the world. Only when we're empty, when we're still, right, that we can see clearly. Only when we're empty, when we clear out and we unlearn, that we can also find the new ways forward. Okay. So being and doing together is really living. That's the whole of who we are. So now, when I'm faced with a challenging situation, I bring myself back to the ICU bed in my mind. And I ask myself, what's really important? That's anchoring for me. And I ask myself, what is the opposite that I should embrace? That's balancing. And then I go for a long jog. That's my way of clearing. In the jog, I let the dirt settle down, and I can see more clearly. I feel more whole, and after the jog, I know what to do. So, wholeness is really as simple as these ABCs. Can you say it together with me? A is anchoring. B is balancing. C is clearing. Thank you so much.